Chapter 1 of Nonsense. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Nonsense by H. Beam Piper. Bishop Berkeley's famous question about the sound of a falling tree may have no standing in science. But there is a highly interesting question about sound that science needs to consider. Nonsense, Part 1. The sun warmed Mark Howell's back pleasantly. Underfoot, the moss-like stuff was soft and yielding, and there was a fragrance in the air unlike anything he had ever smelled. He was going to like this planet. He knew it. The question was, how would it and its people like him? He watched the little figures advancing across the fields from the mound, with the village out of sight on the other end of it, and the combat car circling lazily on contragravity above. Major Louis Goffredo, the Marine officer, spoke without lowering his binoculars. "They have a tubular thing about 12 feet long. 6 of them are carrying it on poles, 3 to a side, and a couple more are walking behind it. Mark, do you think it could be a cannon?" So far, he didn't know enough to have an opinion, and said so, adding, "What I saw of the village in the screen from the car, it looked pretty primitive. Of course, gunpowder's one of those things a primitive people could discover by accident if the ingredients were available. We won't take any chances, then." "You think they're hostile? I was hoping they were coming out to parley with us." That was Paul Millard. He had a right to be anxious. His whole future in the Colonial Office would be made or ruined by what was going to happen here. The Joint Space Navy Colonial Office expedition was looking for new planets suitable for colonization. They had been out now for 4 years, which was close to maximum for an exploring expedition. They had entered 11 systems and made landings on 8 planets. 3 had been reasonably close to Terra type. There had been Fafnir. Conditions there would correspond to Terra during the Cretaceous period, but any Cretaceous dinosaur would have been cute and cuddly to the things on Fafnir. Then there had been Imhotep. In 20 or 30,000 years, it would be a fine planet, but at present it was undergoing an extensive glaciation. And Irminsul, covered with forests of gigantic trees. It would have been fine except for the fauna, which was nasty, especially a race of subsapient near-humanoids who had just gotten as far as clubs and coupe-deploying axes. Contact with them had entailed heavy ammunition expenditure, with 2 men and a woman killed, and a dozen injured. He'd had a limp himself for a while as a result. As for the other 5, one had been an all-out hell planet, and the rest had been the sort that get colonized by irreconcilable minority groups who want to get away from everybody else. The Colonial Office wouldn't even consider any of them. Then they had found this one, third of a geostar, 80 million miles from primary, less axial inclination than Terra, which would mean a more uniform year-round temperature, and about half land surface. On the evidence of a couple of sneak landings for specimens, the biochemistry was identical with Terra's, and the organic matter was edible. It was the sort of planet every explorer dreams of finding, except for one thing. It was inhabited by a sapient humanoid race, and some of them were civilized enough to put it in Class 5, and Colonial Office doctrine in Class 5 planets was rigid. Friendly relations with the natives had to be established, and permission to settle had to be guaranteed in a treaty of some sort with somebody more or less authorized to make one. If Paul Millard could accomplish that, he had it made. He could stay on with 40 or 50 of the ship's company to make preparations. In a year, a couple of ships would come out from Terra with 1,000 colonists and a battalion or so of Federation troops to protect them from the natives, and vice versa. Millard would automatically be appointed Governor General. But if he failed, he was through. Not out, just through. When he got back to Terra, he would be promoted to some home office position at slightly higher base pay, but without the 300% extraterrestrial bonus, and he would vegetate there till he retired. Every time his name came up, somebody would say, "Oh yes, he flubbed the contact on what's-it." It wouldn't do the rest of them any good either. There would always be the suspicion that they had contributed to the failure. The wavering sound hung for an instant in the air. A few seconds later it was repeated, then repeated again. "Our cannon's a horn," Goffredo said. "I can't see how they're blowing it, though." There was a stir to right and left among the Marines deployed in a crescent line on either side of the contact team. A metallic clatter as weapons were checked. A shadow fell in front of them as a combat car moved into position above. "What do you suppose it means?" Millard wondered. "Terrans, go home." He drew a frown from Millard with the suggestion, "Maybe it's supposed to intimidate us." "They're probably doing it to encourage themselves," Anna de Jong, the psychologist, said. "I'll bet they're really scared stiff." "I see how they're blowing it," Goffredo said. "The man who's walking behind it has a hand bellows." He raised his voice. "Fix bayonets. These people don't know anything about rifles, but they know what spears are. They have some of their own." So they had. The 6 who walked in the lead were unarmed, unless the thing one of them carried was a spear. So it seemed were the horn bearers. Behind them, however, in an open order skirmish line, came 50-odd with weapons. Most of them had spears, the points glinting redly. Bronze with a high copper content. A few had bows. They came slowly, details became more plainly visible. The leader wore a long yellow robe. The thing in his hand was a bronze-headed staff. 3 of his companions also wore robes. The other 2 were bare-legged in short tunics. The horn-bearers wore either robes or tunics. The spearmen and bowmen behind either wore tunics or were naked except for breechclouts. All wore sandals. They were red-brown in color, completely hairless. They had long necks, almost chinless lower jaws, and fleshy beak-like noses that gave them an avian appearance which was heightened by the red crests like roosters' combs on the tops of their heads. "Well, aren't they something to see?" Lillian Ransby, the linguist, asked. "I wonder how we look to them," Paul Millard said. That was something to wonder about, too. The differences between one and another of the Terrans must puzzle them. Paul Millard, as close to being a pure Negro as anybody in the 7th century of the atomic era was to be pure anything. Lillian Ransby, almost ash blonde. Major Goffredo, barely over the minimum service height requirement. His name was Old Terran Spanish, but his ancestry must have been Polynesian, Amorid, and Mongolian. Carl Dorver, the sociographer, 6'6" with red hair. Bennett Fayon, the biologist and physiologist, plump, pink-faced and balding. Willie Schollenmacher with a bushy black beard. They didn't have any ears, he noticed. And then he was taking stock of the things they wore and carried. Belts with pouches, and knives with flat bronze blades and riveted handles. 3 of the delegation had small flutes hung by cords around their necks, and a 4th had a reed panpipe. No shields and no swords. That was good. Swords and shields meant organized warfare, possibly a warrior caste. This crowd weren't warriors. The spearmen and bowmen weren't arrayed for battle, but for a drive hunt, with the bows behind the spears to stop anything that broke through the line. All right, let's go meet them. The querulous, uncertain note was gone from Mellard's voice. He knew what to do and how to do it. Goffredo called the Marines to stand fast. Then they were advancing to meet the natives